Hi guys, I'm Heath Poland with Urban Security Agents. Tonight I'm going to be going over a couple of things. Um, One of those things is magazine changes or clip changes, how I do it, what's comfortable for me, how I position that stuff in my gear, um, wearing gloves, and a very brief, I don't know, like introduction into clearing a corner or, how you should hold your weapon in reference to how that corner should be approached. Okay. That being said, um, tonight's basically just training. Okay. Y'all gonna hear me harp on this a whole bunch. Train, 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 train. It doesn't matter. You've got to be faster than the bad guys. So if you want to be that way, you have to train. End of story. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Black Rifle Coffee. Thank you. It's what I drink all day long, every day, all day long. Um, right now, I have Mad Science and another flavor. It's the bag in a bag. Mad Science comes in like a Folgers coffee can type thing. But anyway, Black Rifle Coffee. Thank you very much. Keeps me going all day long, every day. Okay. As you can tell, I'm smoking, but I just wanted to make that introduction real quick. That shout out. Now on to the training part. Um, how I train is I imagine this being in a situation that I'm in every day, like going to the convenience store, going to the store, going to buy groceries. Um, at my second part-time job with my wife, those sorts of places that I'm at very regularly is how I train. Now, all of these places have corners. All of these places have a way to hold your firearm. Most of these places are crowded. Now, of course, if you're out trying to shoot somebody, you don't want to be here unless they're like sitting right here in front of you, okay? And even then, I think it would be something in this position, okay? Um, but that being said, I train with the idea of every place I go, okay? It doesn't matter whether it's an apartment complex, a construction site, all of those things I train for, okay? Thinking about covering concealment, all of those things. Now, tonight, I'm going to be doing, magazine dumps, um, showing you how I do it. Now, somebody else may have something different. Their way's not right or wrong. It's probably what's comfortable for them. Now, as you'll notice when I'm doing this, I use my shooter finger to dump, to press my release. Okay. I don't use my thumb. My hand just doesn't wrap around my weapon good enough for my thumb to do it. Okay. Unless I'm really fidgeting with my weapon. I don't want to do that. I want to be the fastest I possibly can. Okay. Now, today's going to be slow, but slow is smooth is fast. Okay. It doesn't matter the saying, it's all same thing. Another thing, just forget about the midsection. I'm working on it. Um, I'm also going to be putting on some gloves. Show you these gloves. Just some gloves. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Okay. Same thing with these. Nothing fancy, nothing special. All right. I'm going ahead and take these apart. That way I can put them on here in just a second without having to fight with this clip like I am right now. Um, this way it's just easier for me to get to them. And that is proving to be a very difficult task at the moment, apparently. These, by the way, are my wife's gloves. We have about the same size hand when it comes to gloves and stuff. let's jump into it. So first of all, when you draw your weapon, make sure you have a good firm grip. Let me get into the picture here. Good firm grip. You're gonna come out, hands at the chest. I've already said this in previous videos, and you come out. Okay, so out, back in, back in the holster. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, I use my trigger finger to depress because my thumb is not. It just doesn't reach. Okay, if you can see mine, it's right here. It's right there. And my thumb just doesn't reach if I'm reaching, holding my weapon properly. So I use my trigger finger. Now, again, it all depends on how you manipulate your weapon. If while you're in the midst of having to change your ammo, okay. So if I'm doing this, I can reach it with my thumb. Okay, I'd rather not have to do that. I would rather just be able to dump it and go. Okay. So what I've got on my hip, alien gear. Real simple, real easy. I can tighten and loosen this piece of equipment up to however I need to. And I try to put it in there to where if I need to, I can reach for it. And it's ready to go. Okay, you see my point? So bullets on this side, firing backside back here, okay? So I dump it in. I'm going to have to tighten it up just a little bit, but you see the point, okay? So if I'm having to change in and back at it, okay? Or back in the way I need it to. The same way goes with the other side, okay? So I'm out, dump, in, and I'm ready to go again, okay? So let's put on a set of gloves. Same concept. It doesn't matter if you have gloves or not. Tonight I'm just doing some random training with everything. Gloves, magazines, how I position myself, keeping muscle memory. That's very important, is your muscle memory in doing these things. It doesn't matter. Just need to train with all the equipment that you have. That way you're comfortable with it. That way you can do what you need to do and keep going. Tonight I'm dry firing. Obviously I'm not going to do live rounds in my house. In doing so gets the police called, and I'm pretty sure it would be for anywhere else if you're trying to live fire in your house, okay? I do a lot of dry fire training in my home. This way I'm prepared, okay? That's the main thing, is being prepared. Same thing with these gloves. These don't have, they have a grip, but they're not really made for, this, if you know what I mean. But I do wear them, again, and I'm ready to go. But train with all of these things that you have at your disposal. If I dry fire quite a lot, again, it keeps muscle memory going. It keeps that part of all of that. I don't know how to explain it, but it keeps it memorized. Okay. That goes for how I hold my firearm, the squeeze of the trigger, the placement of my finger on the trigger. Everything's done in slow motion. Okay, now once I get out onto a live firing range, I speed everything up. But here at the house, or like inside an office or wherever, it's slow. I'm not trying to do a race. I'm not trying to do any of those things. I want to be able to do these things proficient enough slowly so when the time happens, it kicks in fast. Okay? That's just how my brain and my body works. So keep that in mind. Now, I mentioned something about corners. So, let's say there's a corner. I'm trying to do this with the video on my phone. Right about here, okay? So about an arm's length out from me, there's a corner. I don't want my firearm extended out, okay? That gives the bad guy a chance to grab my firearm. It doesn't matter how you're holding it. Now, semi-automatic, you are able to fire at least one round. It won't do anything. You'll have to wrestle it away, eject that round, put another one back in before you can fire again. But you have that one round. That's why I carry one in the pipe, okay? One of the reasons. But I don't want to approach with my arms out. I want to approach with my firearm right about here, okay? Now, if we're in, like I have experiences with apartment complexes where we had to go in and clear empty apartments. Flashlight, I'm going to turn it on because this fucker is definitely bright. See my point? I'm old school, so I was trained to do it like this, okay? So I'm going to turn it on, that way you see what it looks like. Alright? And this is how I was trained, okay? So if I have a flashlight, this is how I'm going to do it. But if I'm approaching a corner, I'm still not going to approach out like that, okay? Not even with a flashlight. I'm going to drop everything back probably to about right here. Keep my flashlight in hand. It's going to be on so I can still see. If I have to discharge my firearm, I can discharge it and then come up and then take care of business as I'm moving around that corner in like a pie slice, if you have that option. But my whole point tonight is the extended arm. Put my flashlight back up. The extended arm is no good, okay? You want to come around the corner about like this, okay? Approach it in such a fashion, kind of dip your head around. If you can see anything in that immediate vicinity, if not, then you start the pie, okay? Start doing your footwork to move around, whether it's this way or whether you kind of cross over, just like you can't see it, but I just crossed my feet over, coming back. But this way is kind of sidestepping it, then I crossed over, okay? But you don't want to approach like this. You want to come around and kind of keep your firearm close to you, or at least in this position. That way, if somebody is there, your free arm, your flashlight arm, whatever the case may be, can be that block, that stop. You know, again, you don't want to do this number. You don't want to shoot yourself, okay? So you want to have it down here. That way, if you do, your arm's out of the way. You're not going to shoot yourself, and you're going to be able to hit your target, whether it's 2 feet, 5 feet, okay? Those are just a couple of basics of what I wanted to go over tonight. Again, if you train, which I hope everybody does, I hope you guys train like your life depends on it. And as I like to say and tell everybody, you got to be faster than the bad guy. You know, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Period. I don't. If you're trying to run a marathon, you don't start running 900 miles an hour. You start running slow, then you speed up. Okay. The same concept goes with muscle memory and training. You don't want to be trying to do. I mean, you can. Dry firing at the house, you can be fast. Okay. That's not a problem. I got ahead of myself. That's not a problem. Okay. Fast is okay if you want to train like that in your home. I don't until I get out to a live range. That way, the slowness of everything is still there, and I don't get ahead of myself trying to pull my gun like you just saw. Okay. Now, those things are going to happen. What I mean by that is the gun. Those things are going to happen. It doesn't matter how many times you train. It could be in the heat of the moment. Your adrenaline's going. Everything's happening at once. Shit's going off. That may happen where you have to go back and just kind of reset yourself to draw your weapon out again. Okay? So don't get discouraged. Just try to improve. Always, always, always try to improve. No matter what, try to improve. Okay? So, out, back, in, right? In my case, changing. Bam. Okay. And corners. Don't approach like this. Approach like this, or like the, if you have a flashlight, just, a flashlight, have it something like this. Okay. This way you can lean it out, take your shots. That way you're not so close to your body, but lean it out, take your shots. And then you can come up and start, doing what you need to do as you come around. Okay. But approach it like this, not like this. Keep it close to you. If somebody's there, you can bring it back to you. Cover it. If you don't have a flashlight, it's daylight, lights, stuff like that. Bring back to you. So again, while I'm at home, it's slow. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Back and in. Okay. Same thing with dry firing. Back. Okay. Same thing with dumping. I try to do these things on a regular basis. That way I'm faster than the bad guy. Okay. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, share. Until next time.